One of the ladies at work, her husband went hunting on the weekend. And they got a few deer, so they said, do you want to buy one? I said, yes.
So this is a whole deer?
Yeah. Well, quite a lot of meat, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to package that up, eh?
Yeah.
And did they tell you what the different cuts are?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. This is all for frying. This is all for stewing. And that's a leg, and that's a leg cut up. So she didn't know if we wanted both cut up, but she suggests we cut it like that. And then the fillets underneath there.
Great. This is what I'm going to be doing now, is packaging up meat. Just what I feel like doing. So Grant's just weighed this. Well, he weighed himself and then picked this up, and this is 20 kilos and he paid $100, so not bad. Not bad per kilo price. Morning. I've noticed that I have been eating my breakfast very much on the go and while I'm multitasking. Like, and it doesn't bother me when I do it, but when I'm editing my vlogs and I see myself with a smoothie in the car or fruit in my hands as I'm wandering about, or like a bowl of fruit on the windowsill while I'm cleaning my room and I'm like going for a bite every now and again. When I'm editing, I'm just like, oh my word, I just want to say to myself, calm down, sit down and eat your breakfast properly. Like I said, it doesn't bother me when I do it, but I've become aware that I'm doing it and it's not good. So today I am going to sit down. I'm only having some fruit for breakfast. That's all I really want. When I say breakfast, it's 5 to 12. Like, I've not been hungry at all today. So I've made myself some fruit. I've cut up an apple and an orange, but I'm actually going to sit down and read my magazine. I'm going through this August one, but I've got a July one as well. I do take notes about plants and things. But anyway, I'm going to sit down and relax and eat my breakfast properly. I can't just sit and eat. Like, that drives me crazy. I have to read or do something. So at least I'm not on my computer, right? Right. It is actually a beautiful day out there. It's cold, but it is very still and there's no rain, which is amazing. And I kind of feel like I want to get into my greenhouse and start pottering around there. Although I do need to finish painting the house, or that piece of wall anyway. Maybe I'll do that today. I've had my breakfast and was going to sit down and do some work, but it's just so lovely out here. I just wanted to show you a few things in the garden. I'm not going to paint the house because I just feel like the weather's a bit changeable. The wind's picking up and for all I know, rain clouds are going to blow in. So I'm going to grab my shoes and then I will take you and show you a few signs of spring that we're seeing. First of all, the soil is waking up and there's that feeling of things coming alive in the air, which it's a bit early. I mean, it's the end of July. We still have the whole of August to get through, but the worst of winter is definitely behind us. There's a lot of little things sprouting, possibly weeds, possibly things that seeded from last year. Pansies, because they're seeding themselves everywhere. The first sign of spring that we always get is this tree. I think this is a nectarine tree. We've never actually had any successful fruit off it. But look how pretty these pink blossoms are. They come out middle of July and you just like look at them and feel hope that winter's not going to go on forever. Just gorgeous. Our apple trees are also showing signs of coming awake. Maybe not this one so much as this one. Lots and lots of little leaf buds. Thanks neighbour, that's great. So that's coming alive. And then we have snowdrops. I kept telling Noah, do not mow over the snowdrops please. And now they're starting to flower. How cute. This is where I planted a few of the shrubs. So that's a viburnum shrub I planted last spring, I think. That's flowering. This is a new one. This one is, I can't remember, which is why I always make sure to take one with a label. What's that? See, it's gonna flower. This is a Loropetalum. Isn't it pretty? And it's got these like shaggy pink flowers. I'm putting in shrubs that are either evergreen and or have winter interest. So at the very least they're evergreen. At best they flower or change colour in the winter. This is another one of those. Viburnum. And I think that's all for here. I cannot remember what these are. They've filled out nicely, they're evergreen, I'm expecting them to flower, but I can't remember what they are. I think they're white forget-me-nots. Now these are forget-me-nots, and you can see how different they look, like how different the leaves look. I think these are blue forget-me-nots and these are white, but I can't remember. I guess we'll find out in spring. Oh, it's chilly out here. Didn't realize quite how cold it is. But I wanted to show you this. This is an apple tree. I don't think we've ever had any decent fruit off it. But can you see all the blossoms? So pretty. Oh, also, I planted some daffodil bulbs in this pot and they've all come up. So I'm going to move this to the back door so we can enjoy the daffodils when they come up. It's currently just outside my greenhouse. That's better. Now we can enjoy the flowers when they come out. A little update on our internet service provider. They have said, oh, a technician is scheduled to come out to your house today, and then they just don't show up, and it's just been more of the same. And then they came out and Grant said to them, when you send a technician out to fiddle with the doodad outside our property, please send them into the house to actually check our speeds. Don't just check it at the box, because clearly there's something going wrong between the box and our house. So they're like, yeah, send a technician out. He just gets a notice eventually, like after days of them not showing up. A technician's been to your property, it's all working now. Didn't come in the house, like seriously. So Grant's like, run a speed test. Just the same, like 0.8 for upload speed when we're supposed to be getting between 5 and 10. Like nothing's changed. So we are switching to a different provider. I think we're going to go with Spark. We were with Spark before, didn't really have any problems, and Grant's busy sorting all of that out. But like, we are done with Skinny. They've just been so crap. Still struggling with internet, and it's like a palaver uploading anything, but hopefully that will get sorted soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Right, it is now time to go into the greenhouse and close it up. Tour coming soon as I finished. I still haven't finished it. Time to shut the doors, which I still need to paint. There's lots I want to do before I do my greenhouse tour, but I'm going to close the doors and get some warmth going in here. Oh, great. Put that underneath the door. One moment, please. I need 2 hands. Here we go. Close that door, and I'll close this door, and hopefully it'll get nice and warm enough to start some seeds anyway. I've got some seeds that I'm going to start today. Some Aquilegia, Delphinium, sweet peas, lupins. What is that? Ixia, and peas. Grant's dressed appropriately for the weather in shorts as usual.
Put my work shorts on, but I don't know.
I think you need work tracksuit pants, because then you complain that it's cold and keep wanting to turn the thermostat on. Anyway, we're doing this today. We're going to order the doors. We're going to pack out the back, because remember, I don't know if you remember, we had to make the back kind of sit further back than it's supposed to, but it's still not far back enough. And
that's to accommodate things like the printer.
Yeah, you can see the printer sticks too far, and we could cut holes for the cables at the back, but we're just going to pack out the back. And also that bit at the bottom is too tall and it's wedged in there, so the whole thing, you probably can't tell in here, but the whole thing tilts slightly backwards, so we need to lower that as well. So we're just gonna get this whole thing done and finished and caulked in and doors on, and yeah, because there's other things I want to move on to, but then this is left unfinished, and then there's just like a trail of unfinished projects behind us. Look what he's done to his hair, because he doesn't want to ask me to cut it, but then I end up having to come and fix it anyway. What just happened?
This dropped. It ripped the cable out. I think I've got another one there. I'll go check.
Weekend with... We finally just got our internet sorted.
Fixed, I know.
For those of you who are wondering about the internet problems, they finally fixed it just when we were about to switch to another provider. And now we can't access it. That sucks. How did you fix it?
I found one. I had luckily a spare one in the garage.
Cable.
Yeah, sorry.
That's lucky.
Note to self, always keep spare cables.
I'm always like, you sort this out. I have no idea what's going on. But clearly he knows what's in there. And obviously it's worth keeping all this stuff. So here is the current situation. So those of you who remember when we did this, we bought these cabinets and they were deep enough to take my photo albums. So it's like big albums, except they wanted to recess the back of it in there, and that took up some of the room, and then it wasn't deep enough. So this is what we've done. So what we're actually going to do is get a thicker, sturdier piece of wood at the bottom and across the middle, and then just cut the top of the back off so that the top is open but the bottom is enclosed. That's the plan. I just want to get this finished now. And it always has to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, look at the state of this place. Grant's gonna be mad. He's just set up Steve at the back there. If you're new here, Steve is my beloved table saw. And it has started drizzling. Of course it has. Hopefully he'll be a bit sheltered under the tree.
I don't know why I don't like it so much.
What don't you like so much, Noah?
Laundry.
He's helped me do this. I've put the rails on. So as you can see, it was like that. Now they're really thick like that, but it's only going to go halfway up. So the top two shelves will be open at the back, which is fine because it's going to have doors on. You're not going to be able to see it. So I'm just waiting for Grant to come in with the two shortened panels and we can stick them on, and then that's done. So today my behind the scenes video went live, and somebody asked me, how do I know when I'm in front of the camera, like what the camera's actually capturing? And I've got my phone here and I'm gonna film what I see so you can see what I see when I'm vlogging. So this is what I see when I'm looking at my camera. So it has a little flip up screen, which is supremely helpful for actually having a quick look at what's in the background when I start filming, or if I'm doing a sit down video, like to see if I'm in frame. So that's how the screen looks normally, and then the screen up and place it like that, or place it forward. There you go. It can also unfold like that, and it's a Canon G7X Mark II. Sorry about the noise in the background. Oh my word. Pretty much the only time Grant and I fight is when we do DIY. Give me patience. Just give me patience. Because like our brains just work completely differently. So I will instantly be able to visualize something. I'll explain it as clearly as I can, and he'll be like, what are you talking about? And it's just so frustrating. And neither of us is like right or wrong, except I'm right. And it's just, he's gone outside to get screws. I need to calm down so that I don't shout at him when he comes back in. It's not just him misunderstanding, like he'll explain or say something to me and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, why would you do it that way? And then when I actually understand what he's talking about, I realize it makes sense. It's just a trial of patience. Okay, that's done, and my marriage is still intact, barely. It's kind of ugly from the side, but there'll be albums in front of it there, and like it'll have doors on, so it's fine. So from the top and from the back. Did I even explain why we've opened up the top? It's because once this is in place, there is a bit of space behind it, like for cables and things. So there is, like, it's not just going to be against the wall. And when we put the printer and everything, the cables and whatnot that comes out of the back of it like there it looks quite flat, but once you plug everything in they come out, and we just needed space to allow that to happen. And we could like cut holes there, but it's just easier to cut the whole thing open, and then it's more ventilation for the, did I say appliances? You know what I mean, like flipping printer, Xbox, Freeview box, PlayStation, all that jazz. Yeah, so that's why we did this, in case I didn't explain it properly earlier. We've got 4 doors. These are like the ultimate cheapest white ones, so they're going to have like a melamine edge, but I'm actually going to trim them out and give them like a bit of farmhouse trim and paint them. And then we've got some knobs. We're just going to get these. We looked at all of the knobs, which is not a huge range. I'll show you. That's it. And ask Grant what he would choose out of all of these. Oh, I lie, it's that as well. So I asked him what he would choose out of all of these, and he's like waving to me. He said this one, and that's the one I would have chosen as well. So for once we like completely agreed. Let's go get the trolley, because he's calling me over that way to get hinges, because these apparently are not the right hinges. And in case you're wondering what kitchens cost here, this teeny tiny little kitchen is $10,271 for this tiny kitchen. So that is how expensive things are here. There's no IKEA or anything.
$32 per door, which is same price as a door basically.
$32 per, no, this is 1 pack per door. $16
half
per door.
Okay.
So $32 for 1 cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just looking at some pots for beside the French doors on the patio in the front there. Under an umbrella, because of course it's raining, of course. But thankfully Bunnings supplies umbrellas for their customers. Grant's getting some like surge protectors and electrical bits, and then he'll come out and have a look as well. Don't want to do grey against grey. I want to do like a dark one like that to match the roof and the footings and the fences. Just have to see what they have. Not much. So this is what I'm going for, and that's how much it costs. If anyone's interested. And what I would really like to do is in the summer, like in the winter one is fine, and then in the summer I'd like to have a medium and small with it, like a grouping of 3 with more color, but that would be an extra $170 if I got 2 medium and 2 smaller ones. So that's not going to happen. Maybe if I did 2 of those instead of 2 of those and 2 of those. Yeah, but I mean they're not cheap, so that would be an extra $110 for a couple extra pots to scatter around. So Grant has vetoed it. Maybe I can add them in later. Just stopped to pick up some sushi, mainly because Daniel had to research and write an essay for school and he got excellence in it, so I'm super proud of him. So we thought we'd get him a bit of sushi as a treat, and then Grant and I of course had to pick up some as well. So that is mine, because of course I can't eat anything crumbed. Or this is Daniel's, and that is Grant's. So we're just going to eat quickly, go get some plants for those pots, and go home. And we didn't get for Noah because he doesn't eat sushi. He won't even know that we had. And the sushi's a treat for Daniel, like he's earned it. Just trying to decide. I was going to put a rosemary in the pots, but I've kind of changed my mind. So I'm trying to find something that's going to be happy in hot, dry, full sun conditions and looks good all year round. And Grant's getting distracted because he wants to get a tree to put where that Asa died. He wants to put a different tree there, so he's getting distracted and I can't make up my mind. Grant's drilling a hole in the gutter, and I'll explain why in a minute. Oh my word, can you get someone to
What?
Can you get someone to hold that ladder that you're going to be standing right at the top of?
No, I'm not just drilling here.
Oh, but I thought you were going from the top down.
No, I don't. I can't go.
It's going to pour water all over you.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, like that's okay when you're holding a battery operated appliance in your hand.
I'll try and block it.
Oh my word. What could go wrong?
Just get a small hole and then... About there?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would... okay, whatever. Can you see the water pouring out of it? So what's actually happened is we realized why the rain is always pouring down here whenever it rains. You know, like I always film out the window when it's raining and you see water pouring there, and the gutters are clear, we've checked them, all that jazz. So what's actually happening is this whole side of the roof, all of the water running off this roof has to come down into these gutters, round the corner and down that downspout, and it's too much, so it overflows.
Well, no, because the downspout is a higher level than this corner.
Oh, I'm glad you were there. I almost finished my sentence. Sorry. Good save. Also, this gutter is actually slightly lower here, and so the water pools here and can't even get to the downspout.
That's exactly what I said.
So Grant had elaborate plans. We've just bought pipe to run an extra one from the corner to there, and we're talking about it, and we're like, if you just drill a hole so the water can drain out and doesn't just sit there, then it's not actually a problem when it overflows there, because it's just going onto concrete. It's not like pooling at the base of the house foundations or anything. Wow, that's a lot of water. It's still running.
Oh, it's full, yeah.
So hopefully that'll do the job, and if it doesn't, then he'll just run the extra pipe from there to there. Also, look at my beautiful pots. We've moved on.
If it's not big enough, it'll block.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Look at my beautiful pots with nothing in them. So I've got the potting soil, and we spent flippin' ages at that nursery, and in the end couldn't decide on what to buy, and came home and I said to Grant, like, one of the plants I was looking at was Escalonia, which is this. I don't know if our guest is home. Oh well, her curtains are closed anyway. So this is Escalonia. I was thinking about putting a couple of those in, and then Grant was like, oh, that one's nice over there, and I was like, that's a Pieris, and they're one of my favorites, so I'm gonna go back and get a couple of Pieris. They didn't have it at that nursery that we went to, so I'm gonna have to go back to Bunnings, and they're like $26 each. But we've had Pieris in big pots before, and they're amazing. They look beautiful all year round. They're always doing something different, and I think it'll look really nice there. So I think it'll be worth it to just spend the money and get the right thing. Still running.
Oh yeah.
You make it bigger?
The whole gutter's full, that's why.
Good grief.
Yeah.
We're lucky we haven't had any problems with it backing up into the roof or
the gutter collapsing out of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just running down to there, which is fine. Hopefully that'll be enough and you won't have to put the extra pipes on.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes, eh? Okay, show us how that gap's working now.
So when this
top is on,
don't drop. I can get in here and I can still get to the power plugs and the cords.
That's better, eh?
Yeah, not better.
But that at the bottom gives it stability, and also my albums won't like fall off the back.
And we can get to that plug there. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's really handy. So we can put everything back together and put the doors on.
Got the first door on. Looks quite smart.
The worst part is doing all the adjustments.
Oh yeah, there's quite a big gap in between there.
Oh, no, I'm fixing it.
Wow, that looks such a big gap, it's not even possible to fix.
Yeah. There you go. One more to do. One more side, I mean. That is how it is looking. The chair Noah uses to sit on when he plays games. I'd prefer it not to be there, but he does use it all the time. TV's tiny, I know. We want to get a big TV later when we can afford it and wall mount it there. I need to like put my dried hydrangeas and bits back, but that is how it's looking. So I'm back at Bunnings and getting a couple of Pieris. They're quite big, so I need to lift it with 2 hands, but Grant will be happy because he really likes these red tones in a plant. And then I'm happy because these will open up to be white flowers and they're just really good. Ta-da! Noah's just hosing off the dirt. They obviously will get bigger, duh. And I've got purple lobelia to sow around the bottom, so that should look pretty this spring, summer. I haven't sowed it yet. Thanks for your help, Noah.
It's gonna take
Pleased
ages.
with them. This is the Pieris, in case you're wondering. Venison stew for dinner, and I'm doing some sweet potato and swede to mash up and have with that. Morning, guys. I'm ready early enough to show you my outfit again before church. Like, who am I anyway? Because that is not normally what goes on in this house. You've seen this dress before. This was Kmart. And then I don't like wearing like nude tights, but I wanted to wear my red shoes, and I just thought like solid black tights going straight onto red shoes is a bit much. So got some fishnets on. And then for jewelry, I have these earrings that were sent to me by Julie. Thank you, Julie. They've got like a little red on the heart there. And then this garnet necklace was given to me by my in-laws years and years ago. Did a bit of a brown smoky eye today, and that is what I'm wearing to church today. That is not what Noah's wearing to church. He needs to get dressed. Forgot to say my shoes are from Tesco many years ago. If you want to see these and all of my other shoes, I will link my shoe collection video here.